All right, babies, it's that time again. And I'm feeling pretty good today. Woo, got somebody on my butt here. Dude, it's 25 miles an hour here, honey. Slow down, baby. We could talk about that, people who push you, and you should just ignore. But I'm gonna go to my original thought, which I just received 2 minutes ago, and that is ignoring warning signs. Yeah, that's gonna be the message today. But before I do that, I want to mention that last night I got absolutely nothing out of visiting Joshua 4. And the reason I got nothing out of it is because it was just a complete repetition. And speaking of like being inspired, it's like the first half of the chapter, it says one thing, and then it like repeats itself almost verbatim in the second half of the chapter. Not inspired. Sorry. Yeah. Does that mean God can't repeat himself and still be inspirational? Well, if you read it, you'll see what I mean. It's like, okay, let's repeat the phone book recitation one more time. It does not read as inspired. And it's just basically Joshua telling leaders of the 12 tribes of Israel to each take a stone and place it somewhere before the Ark of the Covenant, I think is where they said. And that would be a sign that God parted the waters for Joshua, just like he parted the waters for Moses, blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't. Just stop. And I'm not even going to try to make sense out of it because, I mean, I guess I will. I feel the Spirit saying, come on, Frank, you got to make some sense out of it. Okay. I'll make some sense. I don't know why I have to, but I will give it an effort. God does the impossible. Okay? If he wants you to get somewhere, he'll get you there. If he doesn't want to get you there, don't even try. Will he make impossible things happen so that you can get to where he wants you to go? Absolutely. All right, there you have it. So, I was thinking about warning signs because as soon as I got in my car, I'm staring what I normally stare at, and it's this thing that says, you know, I have like these flashing warning messages, which none of them mean anything because they're just wrong. One says service the tire monitor system. I don't need to do that. One says I have low oil level. I just filled the oil. So why am I bringing that up? Because I'm thinking back on my life and like decisions I've made. All right, let me go bumper to bumper on this officer. That's right, officer. I got places to go, baby. God's going to part the way. He's going to make a way for me. He's going to get you out of my way. I'm going to get right up on you, and he's going to have you pull over. Yeah, just a lot of ignoring warning signs. And so I kind of thinking about that and like, you know, feeling really badly about it. And I keep saying I'm sorry to God for screwing up my life, and I think of all the opportunities I missed all the situations I would be in if I had done this, if I had done that, if I had done this, right? I'm serious when I say, like, my life is almost nothing but a series of regrets, really. I mean, God has moved in spite of all of it, absolutely, because he's just loving and forgiving and not the big retributive ogre that we see in both the Old and New Testaments. Yeah, baby, that's not God. I am evidence of it. He stuck with me through thick and thin. And, yeah, I ignored a lot of warning signs. What were the warning signs? I can't remember. There's been too many of them. But I just know that I would always have some kind of rationalization of why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And none of it ever turned out to be a positive thing. Now, when I say that, one thing that comes to mind that is puzzling to me, which is why I'm still waiting on some direction from God on how to move forward, and that is my 1,000 dances of diversity promotion in the streets of New Haven for about 3 to 4 year period. And I'm telling you, I never felt more free. I never felt more happy. I never felt more strong. I never felt more inspired. I never felt more courageous. And I never felt like he ever was telling me, Frank, you need to stop doing this. Frank, this is not my will. Please stop. The way I would hear his voice on so many other things. So yeah, it's puzzling. So when I talk about warning signs, it's like I was out there 1,000 times and never really felt a warning that I can remember. And usually when God is in favor of something, he makes his point known. Like, I told you yesterday, I'm telling you again today. So now when I say tell you, what I mean is, like, I'll get like a sense in my spirit, like it's almost like your conscience is like bothering you type of a thing. Only like it's a really strong understanding. Like, when you do something you're not supposed to do, but you do it anyway, but you definitely know you shouldn't be, it's not advisable, that type of a thing. That's how, when I say God told me, or God, it's kind of just impressing upon you in such a strong way that you're clear about what direction to take or not to take. And I never got that, like a warning sign from I call it my 1,000 dances, which is basically what it was, approximately. So, having said that, just letting you know, that's kind of a thing that I'm kind of waiting on God to give me direction on. Because if I, here's an example. I'm not going to have time to get into all of this. We only have a minute left. We have a Friday night service at church this week in order to avoid the scheduling conflict for the Christmas Day festivities. And I'm thinking of wearing my tiger fur coat to it. Why? Because just recently, one of the leaders of the church, who I respect tremendously, gave a word of, like, the world is we're about to get into some serious stuff. And they happened to overhear, because somebody left the news on, that Biden is thinking of creating some kind of national statement or law or whatever making same-sex marriages legal across the country. And she was using this as like, you know, the most heinous thing you could imagine. So I'm thinking, oh yeah? You love me so much? I'm going to show up on our Friday service this week with my tiger fur coat, just so you know, baby. So yeah, so that's kind of in the works. We'll see if I actually do it and watch those warning signs and step out into new experiences and be sensitive to the Spirit of God and just keep Him happy. If you keep God happy, believe me, you'll be happy. Even if you're not sure if God's happy, you're going to be happy because you're trying everything in your power and ability to keep Him happy. Yeah, baby. Can you make God happy? Oh yeah, baby. You just watch.